What if Sukuna had hibernated for 68 years? And when he finally woke up, Yuji Itadori was the strongest being to ever exist in the Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo universe. Well, my name is Shoyo, and today we're gonna find out who would win this epic, legendary battle. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and drop a like because it really helps out. The timeline. First things first, this isn't the timeline you know. Here, Gojo and Sukuna's fate took a completely different turn. In the original manga, Gojo gets out of the prison realm and dies fighting Sukuna. Here, the start was exactly the same. Gojo escaped and ended up dying in combat. But the plot twist comes right after the King of Curses gets his victory. As soon as Gojo fell, Kinjaku that pest teamed up with Sukuna. Instead of dragging out the war right then and there, the two decided to dip and flee together to make sure their long-term plans actually worked out. Shortly after this escape, Sukuna went into hibernation to get his strength back and wait for an era with stronger fighters. And just like that, 68 years went by, bringing us to the current setting of Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo. In 2086, when Sukuna woke up in the Tokyo underground, Yuji was still alive and kicking. He immediately recognized Sukuna's energy. After all, he'd spent years waiting for this exact moment. Sukuna finally had a challenger, Yuji Itadori. But to figure out who would actually win this fight, we need to look at the power levels these two have reached. The King, Sukuna's Arsenal, 2086 edition. Sukuna has been around for 4,000 years. Any other being in this universe starts at a ridiculous disadvantage when it comes to experience. And a 6-8 year nap doesn't change that. Here are the trump cards he brings to the table. Dismantle and cleave. Forget random attacks. This power creates sequences of simultaneous multi-angled slashes that box the enemy in, completely wiping out any chance of dodging before the strike even lands. If dismantle is about the sheer volume of attacks, cleave is a fatal blow, perfectly scaled to the target's toughness, just like it was with Gojo. Malevolent Shrine. Sukuna's domain expansion was already the deadliest thing out there, but now it's surgical. After decades of refining it, Sukuna doesn't waste a single drop of energy. He controls the exact target of every single slash within range. Basically, walking into his shrine without a split-second defense strategy is a death wish. Pattern reading. This is his real ace in the hole. With thousands of years of experience, Sukuna doesn't just read movements, he reads intentions. He can sense the shift in cursed energy inside his opponent before a technique is even fired off. Since Yuji uses the same techniques, Sukuna goes into the fight already knowing exactly where the gaps and blind spots are in all of Yuji's moves. Incarnated sorcerer body. This detail matters, and a lot of people mess this up by treating him like a curse. Sukuna is an incarnated sorcerer, which changes everything. Unlike curses, he uses reverse curse technique, RCT, to heal his body in real time. He's got 4 arms and 4 eyes, letting him throw hands and weave hand signs at the exact same time. He's incredibly OP, overpowered. Plus, he has 100% control over his body, with no host to get in the way or split his focus. In short, Sukuna is peak efficiency. He has the highest battle IQ in history, a body built strictly for war, and techniques refined to their absolute limits. But then there's the other side, and this is where things get crazy. Yuji in 2086. Yuji Itadori started out as a kid with freakish physical stats and zero technique. He was just supposed to be a disposable vessel, swallow Sukuna's fingers and die at the end. Nobody bet on our boy, except Gojo. But the residual fusion with Sukuna changed everything. It completely stopped his aging. His 2086 body is exactly the same, but now it has over 80 years of stacked experience inside it. And unlike Sukuna, every single one of Yuji's years was spent in the field. While Sukuna was sleeping, Yuji was out there fighting every week, every month, nonstop. Here's what his current arsenal looks like. Evolved, dismantle, cleave, and piercing blood. Yuji didn't just inherit Sukuna's techniques, he tailored them to his own fighting style. Dismantle became a melee weapon. He coats his fists in microscopic layers of cleave. The result? Damage that goes way past just physical impact. It's a variation Sukuna never came up with because he never had to brawl like that. Or maybe he just never thought of it. As for piercing blood, which used to seem pretty one-dimensional, Yuji now compresses the blood to create spikes, barriers, and contact traps. Automatic RCT. Yuji doesn't even have to actively trigger his healing anymore. It runs on its own, in real time, kind of like Gojo's Infinity. In 68 years of fighting, nobody has been able to deal damage fast enough to outpace it. Flowing red scale. This isn't a technique he turns on anymore. His body just runs it 24/7. Yuji taps into max speed and strength with zero waste. He can cross insane distances in fractions of a second without giving off a single visual cue that he's about to move. Black Flash, the most important tool in his kit and the most misunderstood. Black Flash deals crazy physical damage, but what makes it unique, specifically against Sukuna, is another factor. Yuji spent years with the King of Curses' soul, living inside his own body. He learned every single frequency and layer of Sukuna. This Black Flash isn't just a heavy punch, it's a strike specifically calibrated to damage Sukuna's soul. Sukuna knows how to protect his soul, sure, but he's never been tested by someone who knows it better than he does. Yuji's nature in 2086. And here's the detail from Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo that flips the whole debate upside down. Chapter 20 revealed that Yuji isn't human anymore. He gives off the aura of a Kalyan creatures tied to the Simurians, closer to cursed spirits than people. Yuji stopped being a sorcerer and became something else entirely. This new nature makes him a wild card that not even Sukuna's crazy battle analysis can predict. His own domain expansion, a domain built completely from scratch, based on decades of survival. Inside, every angle and surface reacts like it's an extension of Yuji's own body. Since it doesn't follow ancient traditions or textbooks, Sukuna has absolutely no prior reference for how to counter it. To sum it up, Yuji is the practical evolution of combat. He took Sukuna's techniques and pushed them in directions the original creator never even imagined, mixing that with a brand new biology that breaks every known rule. Who has the edge? Let's put them side by side and break down what will actually decide this fight. Damage resistance. Point goes to Yuji, but there's a catch. Sukuna can use RCT to heal mid-fight, which is already busted, but Yuji's healing is automatic. He doesn't have to spend any mental bandwidth or focus on it. He just constantly heals. In a drawn-out brawl, that convenience makes a massive difference in Yuji's favor. Raw attack power. Point goes to Sukuna. He's got thousands of years of cursed energy packed into a body built strictly to fight. His raw strength is the highest in the verse. If he manages to land his combos the way he likes, Itadori is going to have a really bad time. Combat reading. Point to Sukuna, but it comes with a huge headache for him. Sukuna is unmatched at reading his opponents, but Yuji took Sukuna's own techniques and started using them in completely different ways. Sukuna might know the tools, but he has no clue how Yuji is going to swing them. Unpredictability. Point to Yuji. He has a domain nobody really understands. He applies techniques in brand new ways, and his actual biology is completely off the charts. Sukuna might be a walking encyclopedia of jujutsu, but Yuji exists outside of that knowledge base. And at this tier of fighting, the element of surprise changes everything. Soul damage. Point to Yuji. We know Sukuna can protect his own soul, but the problem is he's never faced someone who knows his soul from the inside out. Plus, as JJK Modulo confirmed, Yuji isn't even human anymore. Sukuna's defense is solid, but it's never been stress tested against this Yuji. Here's the rundown. On one hand, we've got Sukuna. This guy literally has thousands of years of combat experience under his belt. He's seen it all. And honestly, no exaggeration, he probably packs the most raw strength and absolute power out there. On the flip side, we have Yuji. Our main character who has taken a beating, learned the hard way, and leveled up his battle IQ insanely over the years. And now, he's using Sukuna's own techniques in a totally fresh way. Not to mention, his body and his very nature can't even really be called human anymore. He is just ridiculously overpowered right now. So that's a setup. And now I want to know your honest thoughts. Who actually takes the W here? Sukuna, with all that built up experience and unmatched power? Or Yuji, with this whole new arsenal, crazy durability, and that auto healing? To be completely honest, I personally think Yuji takes this one. But hey, I don't know everything, and I'm totally open to changing my mind depending on what kind of arguments you guys bring to the table. So let me know, do you agree with me, or do you think Sukuna just completely stomps him? Drop your thoughts down in the comments and defend your side, because I'm gonna be reading all of them. By the way, we just hit 3,000 subscribers here on the channel, and we're already closing in on 4,000. I'm so hyped about this milestone. You guys are literally changing my life. So I make it a point to stay active and chat with our community. And you already know, if you guys ask for it enough, I'll drop a full breakdown of this fight in the next video, going blow for blow. Thanks guys, peace out.